Hey folks, welcome to 6 Minutes of Witchcraft with me, Laura Tempest Zakroff. And today I want to talk about money and witchcraft, and particularly about getting paid for what you do. I'm going to set the timer. Begun. So there are some taboos, and most of them originated in the last century, second half, upwards, and revived throughout the 90s and so forth. And so you'll hear things like you shouldn't get paid for teaching the craft or doing the craft, whatever, insert that sort of thing in there, which is a really new concept because when you think about the witch in history, the witch as the community or village healer, magical practitioner, those working with spirits, all the different things, that's a vocation. And everybody in a village or a town gets paid for what they do. What has particularly changed in one respect is how society has been ordered. So if you're in a small village, you can barter back and forth. Like, oh, you need some healing stuff. All right, that will be 2 chickens, or a pig or something like that. Things that could be used and traded among people. Nowadays, we live in a much larger society, and the electric company is not going to accept framed artwork, books, etc. as payment for their services. We have money to stand in for those offerings. It becomes something that is sort of a equalizing factor. I know money sucks in many ways, especially when you don't have it. But this notion that spirituality, things that are spiritual or religious, should not involve money, that's really cute. It's adorable, really. Get into not only this century, but all the ones preceding that. If you look at most established religions, churches, whether it's Catholicism, any of the Protestants working with, pretty much pick them all. If there's a temple, if there's a rectory, if there's a church, there is something to provide for the priest, for the rabbi, for whoever is in that position to help take care of people's spiritual services. The community pays, tithing, right, to make sure that that person, their needs are taken care of. Yes, there's a vow of poverty in some groups, right? Nuns, right? But their ability to exist is taken care of through fundraising and through the parish. Community comes together. Individual practitioners don't really have that. Now, there are various religious groups that, especially in the realm of witchcraft, that do have 501(c)(3) standing, and that they can report as a church and they don't pay taxes, but there's still ways that money gets involved. And really looking at this money as some sort of dirty thing that's off there and shouldn't sully your practice, fucking bullshit. It's just bullshit, because that's not how the world works. I'm not a fan of capitalism, but I understand commerce, and they are 2 different things. So when you look at what money stands for, it's part of the exchange of energy. And anything that you do with someone else is an exchange of energy if it's done properly. It doesn't come down to, oh, but if you love what you do, then you shouldn't charge for it. I get told that for art. If you love doing art, oh, great. So it's totally fine for me to give away all my stuff, but, which benefits you but doesn't benefit me. No, there is an exchange. If you want that good design, if you want the design that makes this happen, that makes books happen, people have to get paid, and we're not, again, paying in chickens and pigs and grain. We have to do it in dollars, cents, whatever currency, because that is where the world has come to, because we are that large of a population. It's common sense. It doesn't sully or dirty or create any sort of miasma about the practice. Things that you have studied for, that you have worked for, you deserve to be paid for what you do. Whether that is music, whether it's art, whether it's doing tarot readings, which giving psychic readings to folks is not like, oh wow, just whip out the deck, whatever. If you are reading professionally, it is an exhausting thing, and it is a balance between being somebody's priest and their therapist, mixed with a little few other things in between. that's really what it is. And it is absolutely draining to do that for a lot of different people on a daily basis, weekly basis, whatever it is. It takes energy. And that energy exchange needs to happen in a balanced way in order for the person giving the service to maintain being able to do that service, to maintain their background, their skills, etc. As an artist, I continue to still to take workshops, whether that is for dance or learning other techniques in my art. As a musician, practicing, investing in instruments, in different other forms of witchcraft, whether that is learning herbalism, how to work with oils. Decks are not free. I know that, oh, you should be given your tarot deck. Also bullshit. It's kind of nice if someone gives you a deck, but you can buy your own decks. It's not going to curse anything. I think we've hit a few different things in here. So, with that, I've actually kept it to 6 minutes. So, folks, get paid for your work. Don't bitch at people who are charging a fair price for their services. Pay what is asked. If it's not something that you feel is a good price, then you don't have to pay it. Right? There are people out there who are charging far more, than probably what it's worth. And again, if they get it, great for them. But find the right person for you, it will be the right amount. And you never know, folks can barter as well. So even within smaller groups that can function, if you're working with a coven, there might be lessons that are exchanged for doing some extra work to help that priest or priestess out. There are many different ways of looking at it, but it still comes down to an exchange of energy. That if you are given something, right? If you're given something of value, then you also return that energy in kind, whether that be through money or chickens or your time well spent. Thanks so much, guys. Subscribe, do the thing. Feel free to share this. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments. Thanks so much. Bye.